Yeah, they thought that you was a shy girl until I made you my girl. Girl, you pushed me like a big boy till I cuffed you like you did something. You ain't gotta wait for it. You ain't gotta wait for me to give you my love. You ain't gotta wait for it. Things are getting sticky, girl, I think that I'm stuck. I'll admit I'm wrong, but I know that you gon' come for me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we are starting off with the 4-part series, Back to Basics. So I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of this series. Now we are going to move on to part 2 of this series. So if you want to learn what we are going to be talking about in part 2 of this series and obviously get some new techniques, then just keep on watching the video. Welcome back to the part 2 of the 4-part series. Now we are going to move on to eyeshadow, y'all's favorite part. A lot of people ask me like, the only thing I don't know how to do is eyeshadow. You're gonna learn today. Okay, for the eyeshadow look, I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. These techniques can be used for any color, any day of the week, glam, natural, whatever you want to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to prime our eyes, because priming our eyes is the most important thing. Why is priming your eyes the most important thing? Because it makes your eyeshadows last longer and it has something to stick to and it makes it more vibrant. Do not leave the house without priming your eyes before eyeshadow, because I will clock you. So for the first primer, we are going to go in with the Nyx Proof It. This is the waterproof eyeshadow primer, the holy grail to my entire existence. I've used this primer since I started out in makeup. And now I'm going to take my flat top concealer brush and we're just going to pat this all over the eye so we can have a nice even base. So the next thing I'm going to go in with is my concealer shade. I recommend that you do this step if you have discoloration on the eyes, or if you're doing a super heavy eyeshadow look. This technique will make your eyeshadows, just like the primer, last longer, be a little bit more vibrant, and it just gives you an even base. And you're probably like, what the hell? Concealer? Yes. This right here is a must. And I would recommend that you get this brush. This brush is actually from Morphe. This is the M224 brush, a flat concealer brush. I am not going to set this eye because we really want our eyeshadows to have something to stick to. Just imagine, like, when you put like glitter on without glue, it can't stick to nothing, right? This is exactly how you should treat your eyeshadows, like glitter. Do not rush this process, because makeup should not be a rush thing. I get a lot of people that ask me questions like, girl, how long does it take you to do your makeup? 4 hours if I could, because I don't like to rush. So as you can see, we have our eyes super primed, a nice even base for our eyeshadows to stick to. So I'm gonna try to only use one palette for this video. One. But I'm going to use only 4 shades, hopefully. Maybe 5. But the shades that I'm going to use are the transition shade, the crease shade, the deeper crease shade to give you a nice little smokiness to go on, and the lid color. So I'm going into the Ring the Alarm palette, and I'm going to take the shade Rush. I'm going to use Rush as my transition shade. Now, you see that Rush was orange. Always want your transition color to be kind of close to your skin tone, but it's also the lightest color that you will be going in with. But if you're doing a color look, then it's definitely the lightest shade that you are going to use for that look. So in this case, the lightest shade that I will be using is Rush. So I'm going to take Rush on my NYX Professional Makeup Brush in number 16. This is a blending brush. If you do not have a blending brush, I recommend that you get a blending brush. This is an all-purpose brush that you should have in your kit. If you don't have this in your kit, definitely go out and get this. I believe this was either $9.99 or $12.99 at Ulta, so they have it at Ulta. So definitely go get it. Remember, you can use a coupon, okay? And we are going to focus this color below the brow bone, but definitely above the crease. Now, if you get this color in your crease, it is okay. It is not the end of the world. But focus this color right under the brow bone and blending it out. So I'm going in with what we like to call the windshield wiper motions to lay the color down. And at the end of the brow, I am going to do circular motions. So I'm just going to go in with those two methods. I'm taking this color all the way in under the brow. That's just how I like to do it. If you're a little timid about that, it's okay. You can honestly stop right here at the end or at the front of the arch where the arch is going to be. Or if you are bold like me, girl, take it all the way in and blend, honey. How I'm handling the brush, right? So my fingers are at the end of the brush. I'm not close to the barrel of the brush because you don't want to go in super harsh because you won't be able to blend your eyeshadows. When you have a loose hand on the brush, you're able to do whatever you feel. I'm barely touching my skin with the brush. Make sure you're not super close to the barrel because you won't be able to blend out your eyeshadows and you will get left with streaking and your eyeshadows won't be blended and I will come for you. So taking the same brush, I'm going to go into the second color, which should be a little bit darker than the transition shade. So this is the color that I'm going in with. As you can see, it is a little bit darker than the transition shade. And this shade is called Mugshot. And this is just a nice orange brown that is going to help deepen up the crease. So this is going to act as a buffer between the transition color and our crease color. And I'm going below the transition color, okay? We are going below the transition color because we still want to have that transition color peek through. And we are still doing the windshield wiper and circular motions so we can get a nice blend. So as you can see, it kind of deepened up the color, but it's blended out super well, so it gives it a nice gradient. And make sure you take this color all the way down here because why? We're going to clean this up with foundation. This is why I like to do my eyeshadows first because I'm able to clean up any excess product or fallout that I get from my eyeshadow. So the next color that I'm going in with, it will be the darkest shade depending on how this look turns out, but this is called Secret. Now sometimes you could go in with a black if you were doing a smoky eye, but your buffer color will have to be darker because you want to be able to blend that black and that buffer color together so it looks. I'm taking this on a Morphe R39 brush and I'm going to start on the outer corner, just placing that color right there. You want the color to be darkest on the end because it will pull out the eye and give you like a cat eye effect. You go in here with the dark color, 9 times out of 10 you won't be able to blend it out. So just make sure you pack the darkest color starting on the outer corner because as you can see, it's pulling my eye out. It's deepening up the eye look, and I haven't even brought it into the inner corner. I haven't even brought it into the rest of the eyeshadow look. So with this brush, this is an all-purpose brush as well because you're able to pack on the color but also blend it out. So I'm blending this color into my crease, and as you can see, I'm raising my eyebrows so I can see where my crease is because if I just have my eyes like this, I'm not really able to feel the crease. Now with the crease, it's literally below, you'll feel it. There's a hollow part. This is bone, as you can see, this is bone right here. Below that is your crease. That's where you want to be able to fit your brush into to deepen up this look. And I'm going to take this all the way in. You don't have to take this all the way in if you're not comfortable, but as you can see, we're still doing our windshield wiper motions. And don't worry about getting this color on your lid because we will be cleaning up the lid. Now if you feel like you're not able to blend out the line, the buffer color and the dark crease color, go back in with your blending brush with no extra product and just blend this part out. Eyeshadow is always about blending. You do not want to get clogged. I know in the makeup world they don't call it a buffer color, but technically it is, because you know the transition color is like an alkaline and the dark color is like an acid, so we need a buffer to kind of blend the two together. I know y'all always hear about me like saying that, all right, I'm about to clog my lid. So typically I would go in with an eyeshadow that's a little bit lighter, but I'm just going to, a concealer that's a little bit lighter, but I'm just going to take my normal concealer that I use under my brows, and we are going to take the concealer brush. Now as you can see, I just kind of plop the color on, right? So now I'm gonna look up, and that gives me a guide to where my eyeshadow, every time I look up, it will not transfer. So this part is a little bit more advanced, and you have to have the most patience with this part, because you're essentially drawing a half moon on your eye. Now, I like my concealer brush to be super flat because it gives me the most control. Now, if your concealer brush is like super like the hairs are spread out, I would recommend that you get a new one because you want this line to be sharp. So I just did a half cut crease because honestly, this is what most of y'all will probably be doing. But if you wanted to do the full cut crease, you would just take it into the end of your eyebrow. So now that we got our half cut crease situation, we have to blend out the end of the concealer into our outer color, our last little color. So the brush that I'm going to use to do that is this Packer blending brush. This is just a shorter version of the blending brush, but the bristles are more stiff. So it allows me to pack on the color while also blending it out. I'm going to take Mugshot first, and this was the buffer color because I need a transition as well from the concealer, since it's so light, into the dark crease color. Now I'm going to take Secret, which was that dark brown color, the darkest color of this eyeshadow look. And we are just going to blend. Don't worry if you go too far in because we will be covering that up with our lid shade. But we're just going to blend this color out. This is a good brush to have in your kit. This is also an all-purpose brush. I believe this brush was from Morphe, but I got it such a long time ago, so any Packer brush will work. I am going to deepen up the crease, but I'm going to take a very smaller brush. This brush is a Sigma Blending E36 brush. It looks like this. It's super small because I'm able to get into this area right here to kind of blend those colors together. Typically for my lid shades, I like them to be a shimmer or satin shade. I'm going to try out this color. This will be my lightest shade that I will be going in with, maybe. And this is called Lolly, and I'm just going to pack this all over the lid where you see all that concealer. I'm taking this on my WetNWild large eyeshadow brush, and I'm pressing this color on. I'm not sweeping it because I want to get the most pigment from this eyeshadow. Now I'm gonna switch brushes real quick because I really want to get into this area right here. This brush is the WetNWild Smudger brush. So now we are going to line our lid. I'm taking the LA Colors Matte Liquid Liner. So how I like to do my wing is, first of all, I don't like to talk while I do my wing. So I just like to draw a little line at the top. Then I like to go on to the outer corner and draw a line going straight up. and then bring it back onto itself from the line that we drew on the lid. Now, if you feel like you made a little mistake on the outer part, it's okay because we have concealer. So for lashes, I know a lot of people get scared about lashes, but it's okay. So for lash glue, I'm using my Ardell Lash Grip. And I just like to kind of pour a little bit out on the thing and use the lash glue as my applicator. And literally just wait. Don't go right ahead and put this on because you will have all types of problems. So don't forget to put your mascara on. I like to put mascara on before my lashes because it allows me to reuse my lashes up to 10 to 15 times. So now that the glue is a little bit tacky, and as you can see it's kind of turning clear, we are going to look in our mirror and raise our eyebrows because we want the maximum amount of lid space when we put our lashes on. And I'm looking down into the mirror. Now I'm gonna start by placing the lash in the center of the eye. Not even worried about the outer corner or the inner corner. I wanna make sure this is glued in on the center. So once I know that that's glued in on the center, I'm going to move the outer corner around. And keep playing with it so that it feels comfortable on your eye. This is how close you want to be to your mirror when you are putting on your false lashes. So we're moving back onto the eyes. Like I said, I like to do my lower lash line after I do my foundation and all that jazz because it gives me a nice little primer slash base for me to do my under eye area. So I'm just going to take this black liner, and you can go in with any black liner. This one is by Ulta and it's their gel eyeliner, and I believe this one was $8. But as you can see, it's super black. So I'm going to smudge out this black eyeliner. I'm taking this on the R43 brush by Morphe. Now I'm just going to put the same colors that I put in this eye look on the lower lash line. So starting with that orange transition shade, I am going to put this on the lower lash line. Now I'm taking Mugshot. And now I'm going to take Secret, which was that dark brown shade. And I'm gonna put this as close to the lash line as possible. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed part 2 of this series, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. If you are new to my channel, join the B.O.M.B Squad. We are the realest squad on the internet. Ooh, ooh. Also, leave a comment in the comment box if you enjoyed part 2 and you're excited for part 3 of this series. You do not want to miss part 3. But I look forward to seeing y'all in part 3 of this Back to Basics series. Bye guys.